who was not here yesterday, either you were an 8CE, no, Hamza, you should definitely stay. All right. If you were an 8CE or if you were absent yesterday for whatever reason, you guys should watch the YouTube link that I posted right here. Okay, that is yesterday's lesson. This way you're all caught up and understanding. The notes are very important. Do not try and do this lesson without the notes. Okay? Everyone else, you were doing this. You were doing the pro-con of Alaska reading, okay? And you were doing the table that looked like this. So pretty much what's going to happen here is I'm going to give you about, I like to 12, 20, maybe a little less. Okay, about 15, 20 minutes. You guys are going to continue the pro-con chart. Most of you should have got the pros done for purchasing Alaska. And now you're going to do the cons portion of it. Okay, if for some reason you didn't finish the first part as well, you could do that too. And then, of course, you have a final question you can do here. Okay, so you guys are going to spend about the first 15 minutes. I'll throw a timer on in class so you can see how much time you have to work on this. Now, if you finish early, no one should be going anywhere because there's a second part to this lesson and some notes that we need to just fill out and copy towards the end of the period. But if you remember what to do, you are clicking on the pro-con Alaska reading. Looks like this. Okay, we read the pro side yesterday. I'm going to trust that you guys could read the con side on your own. Okay, this is a picture, so you won't be able to copy and paste this, maybe if you did yesterday. But this is from a citizen writing about why they do not like the Alaska purchase and why they don't like America being imperial as much. So you guys can obviously copy this down as well. Okay. So I'll be here, obviously, if you have any questions. But you're working on this for the first 15 minutes of class. All right, then obviously let me know if you have questions. All right?
So,
yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so what's it called? ACE watches the video after we're done.
Yeah, if you finish that early, then you could go on to this particular lesson that they're doing today. But this is just a continuation of yesterday, so you can't do this part without doing the first part.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, there's a couple of different classes here. If you have questions, please use the chat box to ask. Otherwise, you guys are free for the next 15 minutes to work on this assignment. And around 12:18, we will come back together and finish up the lesson. All right, and again, if you were in this class yesterday, please watch the video I just posted first. Everyone else is on pace. I'll finish up the assignment from yesterday. Okay, nice, Alex. Just hang tight. Timer will be up in about 5 minutes, and we'll go into the rest of the lesson for today. Okay, skip number 2, Hamza. I'd rather you get to the notes in the other part of the assignment. Yeah, guys, take about one more minute, and yeah, sorry about that. Take about one more minute, and then we're gonna come back together for some notes and stuff. Start at 12:20 here. The next thing you're going to do is there won't be notes for this, but what's it called? I definitely want you just to pay attention for a little bit, and then we're going to copy down some notes. So make sure your notebook's out. We'll start in 30 seconds. Okay, so everyone just kind of follow along with me. Yesterday, we obviously spent a lot of time on Alaska, and obviously you're going to turn in that assignment soon. And some of you may not be done, but I definitely want to take a little time and just go over a couple of things and take a little bit of notes, continuing from yesterday's lesson. So yesterday saw when we wanted Alaska, okay, how did we go about getting Alaska? Okay, in the chat, someone who was here yesterday, tell me, how did we go about getting Alaska? What did we do to get it? Not like we just were randomly given Alaska. We had to do something to get it. What did we do? Who remembers from yesterday's notes?
Well, buy it. Buy Alaska.
Yeah, we made a trade with Russia. Okay, kinda. We basically got information from Russia that they had some resources there, and then eventually, yes, we made a trade. They gave us the land. We paid them $7 million. Okay, very simple, very easy. We created a treaty. Not much of an issue. The next place that we get in imperialism is Hawaii. Okay, now Hawaii is a place that I went to on my honeymoon, a few years ago. It's a very nice place, but it's completely different from what you'd see in New York City. Okay, I mean, like completely different. You literally feel like you're living in a whole different world. Okay, there are islands in the Pacific Ocean. It's very warm. It's very tropical. So why do we get that? Well, yesterday, if you remember, we wanted it because they had a lot of sugar, and we wanted the sugar plantations. So the way we get Hawaii is a little bit different. And this is kind of how imperialism works sometimes. Sometimes it's simple. We kind of buy some land. If you remember back in 7th grade when we bought the Louisiana Territory for $15 million, we had all of that land. Sometimes you need to fight for land. And this case, Hawaii was one of those cases where we kind of fought for it, and I'll kind of explain how. So you're not writing this down, but I'm just giving you an example. There's many ways that we get control of places. Over the next few days, we're going to look at something called the Spanish-American War. And the Spanish-American War is a big reason why we get the territory of Puerto Rico. So I know I have some Puerto Rican students in here. And this is a big way for you guys to learn how we get Puerto Rico. And you'll see it's a lot different than essentially how we just buying it. Okay, we have to fight for it in some ways. Okay, so in 1887, there is going to be, there are these sugar planters. Okay, there are these American sugar planters, and they go in and they basically want to plant sugar, and we have an agreement with the king of Hawaii at the time. And essentially, we have a good relationship with the king. Okay, the king allows us to go in, and we take sugar, and we have a very nice deal with them, so to speak. Okay, but what's going to happen is the king is going to pass away. Not from anything bad. He just gets old, passes away. Therefore, in Hawaii, as you can imagine, when the king dies, the queen takes over. The queen, her name is Queen Liliuokalani. She takes the throne. Now, she has a much different way of going about this whole situation. Okay? The reason why she has a much different way going through this situation is she does not like the Americans in Hawaii taking the sugar, basically. Okay? So this is a kind of crappy situation where the queen, who is now in control, doesn't like America. So either we can leave, or we could do something else. We decide to do something else. We do not like that the queen is not letting us basically go into there and work through the sugar plantations. So we hire the sugar planters and a little bit of military to go and overthrow the queen, take her out of power so we can then go and grow our sugar. Okay? And eventually we put in our own government. We may give them their own president. If you've ever heard of or let me know if you've ever seen this before. What does that look like, that dole right there? Sure, you guys have recognized that before.
It's on pineapple juice.
Yeah, okay. It's on like fruit cup and pineapple juice. Basically places that we would get certain fruits from. And this was named after Sanford Dole, who was the first president of Hawaii from 1894 to 1898. And eventually we get Hawaii to become a territory, and we gain control of all the sugar. So because we wanted sugar, we basically overthrew the queen and elected a president to stand in their behalf. Okay, so this shows the power that the United States has. All right, so Alaska we get peacefully. Hawaii, we have to overthrow the queen to get what we want. Both of which are controversial. Maybe we should mind our business sort of thing. But if you guys want some candy, if you want some sugar, okay, this was kind of the way we had to go about doing it. All right, because the queen was basically going to cut off all of the sugar that we get coming into our country, and that was making us a fortune. Plus, people love sugar. I mean, I love sugar. It's not great for you, but it's really good. All right, this is the stuff I need you to copy down. In your notebook, I want you to set up a pro-con chart of being imperial. This is very similar to what you did in the assignment, but I'd like something more of an overview in your notebook. So on the left, please write down the pros of being an imperial country and having imperialism. And then on the right, please write down the cons. Obviously, you just have to copy down what's in blue on the left, and you just have to copy down what's in red on the right. All right, I'll give you a minute or two to do that, and then we will discuss what these mean. All right, so set up a little T-chart in your notebook, or set up in a Google Doc so we can go over this.
Are you presentating right now?
I am. Can no one see?
No, I can't see it. I'm not sure if other people can see it, but I can.
I can see
I
it.
can.
I can see it.
Yes, Ariel, just leave and come back, and that should fix the problem. Yeah, that would not be good if I was doing this the whole time. Okay, so yeah, so copy this down into your notebook, and we'll go over in a minute.
So we copy blue on the other side and red on the other side?
Yes, you don't have to copy down what's in black, correct. Okay, so let's discuss a couple things. So number one, let's look at the pros of being an imperial country. Number one, probably the most important, if you're imperial, you have a lot more access to things. If you're taking over countries, if you're a larger country taking over smaller country, you have a lot more access to things, specifically resources. We saw this with oil and sugar already. New markets, meaning you have new places to trade throughout the world because you're closer to other countries. New trading partners. If you're imperial and you're more around the world, you have more relationships you can have with countries. I mean, just think logically, if you're someone, I mean, it's a bad example with coronavirus, but Pressure knows no coronavirus. There's, two types of people. There's people that like to be independent and stay at home and not go out too much, and that's fine. But you're probably not going to have as many relationships as someone who goes out and, hangs out with people and hangs out with friends. I mean relationships, I mean like friendships and stuff. The more out and about you are, the more chance you have to have friendships and relationships. So the same thing goes for a country. The more, the further you are around the world and the more places you own, the more relationships that you kind of develop and build because of that. Okay, a huge thing you'll learn when we get to World War I and World War II is the importance of having a military base in allied countries or countries that you control. Okay, if you guys know anything about World War II, you will realize that since we put a military base in the country of the territory of Hawaii, that is a huge reason where we get attacked. Okay, but it's a huge reason that's going to end up, being a huge problem in World War II. Okay, but bases give you a better opportunity to keep a closer eye on your enemy. So like one of our biggest enemies right now is North Korea. We have a bunch of military bases located close to North Korea to kind of keep a close eye on them at all times, so to speak. So that's a good example there. Also, this is just a standard rule. More land equals more power. Okay, the more land that you have, the more power that you have, ultimately, the better that you will end up doing. Okay, and the more power that your country has. You can build good. What's up?
I was gonna say, I know, doesn't Russia have like the largest
Doesn't Russia have the what?
largest land?
Yeah, I would say so. I would definitely say so. All right. All right. Let's go through. We talked about the relationships. Okay, let's talk about the cons. What are the negatives of being an imperial country? Well, if you're an imperial like the United States, the more land you take over, the more expensive it could be to protect and maintain the land. When you get to 9th grade U.S. history, you'll learn about a group of people called the Roman Empire. And a huge problem with them was Roman Empire, right? They were imperial. They took over so much land. The big problem when they took over all of this land, ladies and gentlemen, they ended up getting too big. And it was very tough for them to protect and control the people that were going around. Okay? So this was a situation where, maybe getting too big becomes a little bit of too much of a problem. All right? Number 2, the world can view you as a bully at times and that you're taking things that you really aren't quote unquote yours. So this can be, you can kind of be seen as like an aggressive country, and there will be certain groups of people that don't like that, so to speak. Okay? The people of the place you take over may be very resistant and upset to having a country rule over you. A good example of this in American history is the Philippines. You'll learn we take over the country of the Philippines very shortly, and a lot of them didn't want to be ruled by the United States. They wanted to be an independent country. A perfect example of this is from 7th grade. When we learned about under Demacy, the Revolutionary War, you would have hopefully noticed that Britain was an imperial country. They took over the colonies, and the colonists were very upset about this, and they went to war and fought for their independence because of this. All right, but definitely the biggest one, and I'm saying it last, the one I started, taking over new lands could lead to other conflicts and wars because you may be in an area where other countries won't welcome you. And this is kind of the downfall of imperialism at times. Countries that are very imperial will eventually run into problems with other countries because ultimately they're getting their nose into others' business. I mean, you guys know, you guys are in middle school, you guys know the types of people that are always in each other's business and are trying to snoop around and are always like a part of the drama. You know the type of people they are. And you know how since they're always like a part of the drama and they're in these big groups of people, that sometimes leads to more conflict. Where you have, sometimes the person that is very quiet and doesn't really get involved in much drama, you know what, they're not going to get into as much conflict. So there's many pros, there's many cons of being imperial, okay? But there's definitely this statement. If you want to be a strong country, if you want to be a powerful country, at this point you have to be imperial. You kind of have to take things You have to kind of buy things, and you have to become a stronger country by gaining more land. And this is what the United States is doing at this point in time. Remember, our unit name is called America. Unit 3 is called America Becoming a World Power. We're getting stronger. We're getting more powerful. And imperialism obviously has a lot to do with that. Okay? So once this is copied down, okay, you could just listen to this for a couple of minutes. We got like 3 minutes left here. You can finish up the assignment if you haven't finished it up. If you're all done with the assignment and the whole entire document is filled out, then of course you guys can go. I believe before you go, I want to just announce, okay, because schedules have changed. So I want to announce to all the classes here when I see you tomorrow, because Lord knows you guys are going to get confused. All right, so give me a second. Let me get to my schedule. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay. All right, so tomorrow I will see 8BE and 8CE. I will get to see you tomorrow, second period. All right, that is different for you because usually I don't see you on Wednesdays, but tomorrow I see you now, second period. That is a schedule change. 8D6, I see you your usual time, 6 period. Okay, that's no change for you. That's very simple. 8DE, I see 7th period tomorrow. All right, so that's the breakdown of tomorrow's schedule. All right, so when you're done with the assignment, please turn it in. If you still want to work on it, you still have 3 minutes until the next class comes in. But I appreciate you guys being well behaved with like 4 classes doing here and following along with instructions. Keep up the good work as per usual.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
No, Manib, I did not.
Bye, Mr. Panio.
Okay, have a great day.
Goodbye. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later. Can I fix what? I didn't mark you absent. Why would I mark you absent? I didn't mark you absent. Yeah.